If you've been feeling like your dream job is out of reach, I'm here to tell you that it probably is closer than you think. And landing your dream role or job is a combination of luck and strategy. But before I even get into the steps on how to land your dream role, there's one key thing that I need you to note, and it is that you need to eliminate shame and the fear of being perceived. The fear of being perceived slash shame, or any type of fear in general, cannot go hand in hand with achieving any type of dream, let alone your dream job. There's going to be a lot of rejections, but with these steps that I'm going to tell you, if you implement them, chances are you're going to land your dream role. Let's get into it. The first steps to landing your dream role is identifying your strengths. You need to write down all your strengths, all the skills that you know that you have, all the skills that you enjoy doing. And if you don't even know the things that you enjoy doing, feel free to write down things that you absolutely do not want to do in a job. It can be as simple as I don't want to sit down in an office all day. I want a job that takes me around. I want a job that is travel focused, travel based. And traveling doesn't have to mean like just luxury travel or holiday travel. Like, I mean, traveling for work. Some people enjoy it. Then write it down as something that you enjoy. Write down all the things that you absolutely do not want, like, oh, say I don't want to work in a startup, I don't want to work in a small company, I want to work in a bigger company. Just different things like that. If you write them down, you're able to then know, this is what I want, this is what I'm not going to accept, this is something that is my dream, right? Because sometimes you get carried away saying, I want my dream job, I want my dream role. But then if I ask you what your dream role is, you don't even know. You need to get clear on what your dreams are and what your dream is before you can pursue it. So write every single thing down. Step two, with the help of AI and Google, you can streamline your strengths and find out job roles that match the exact skill sets that you've written down. Bear in mind, these job roles don't have to have traditional titles. I find that a lot of job roles that are unique or niche, I'll say, have a lot of transferable skills in there. So, for example, in your strengths list before, you may have written something like good project management or something more niche like PHP web developer. If you've written those type of things, particularly both specialized strengths and just more general strengths, you may want to look at the job descriptions of some of the jobs that are posted on job boards, job websites like Indeed, as opposed to just going by the title of whatever job has been written. So, for example, if you go on to Indeed, because that's the most popular one, I would say, in the UK, or CV Library, if you go there and you see job roles like marketing manager or communications manager, something like that, it may seem like, oh, yes, this is the one for you. But then when you look at the job description, you see that they may be asking for like specific things like, can you handle this software? Can you handle that software? But if you look at other generic roles or other generic job titles, they may have your specific strengths in them. And a key tip here is that if a job, something I personally adhere to is that if a job has up to 50% of things that I can do, I'm going to apply to that job. And I think that is something that you should also consider doing as well, because a lot of the times we eliminate ourselves from the entire process by already saying, oh, I cannot do XYZ that they have listed. Remember, a job description is a wish list. The company has put out their wish list. They may find somebody that is a perfect fit, but they can also find somebody that is willing to learn and can already do half of what they have written down. It just depends on how you sell yourself and the story that you tell. Does that make sense? Step three, you need to create a CV that reflects the role that you want. Now that you've identified your strengths and that you've searched up the roles on Google or using AI, you now know the type of roles that you want. You need to tailor your CV to every specific role that you find. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, this role, and you make a generic CV for it. Generic CVs are not going to get you anywhere. I promise you. Take it from me. If there's nothing else you take from this video, do not submit a generic CV. You're just you're wasting your time. Just lie down. Don't do anything. Don't even bother yourself. Don't submit a generic CV. Very rarely will a generic CV get you through the door. You must always personalize a CV or tailor your CV to the particular job that you are applying to. Once you find the specific job description, tailor your CV to it, put down all the keywords that they want so that your CV can even pass the ATS point of the job screening. Because a lot of companies, in case you did not know, a lot of companies, it's not human beings that look at your CV the first time you submit it. It is passed through an ATS system. And then the computer basically chooses, okay, this person has keywords for what we want, this person, and then only the strongest CVs survive. If you want me to talk more about how to make a good CV for you or how to tailor a good CV, please let me know in the comments below. But this is typically something that you must do. Step 4, find part time or volunteering roles. Let's say that you have now identified the job titles or the particular jobs that fit your skill sets, but you don't have experience in them. A good rule of thumb is to do some volunteering in those particular areas. So, let's say, for example, you find a specific job that is not something you've done before. Look around for places where you can volunteer and use the particular skill sets that you will need in that job in your volunteering space. A good thing about volunteering is that you would always get either a recommendation or you will get a certificate for doing it. So that way you're able to put it in your CV and say that you have done these skills, you have technically worked in those type of environments before, and it just gives you an edge and makes your CV stand out more because you have real world experience of these things. Still within this tip, I'll say that you should also explore flexible options. So you can start a freelance gig offering the service or offering the job role or the specific strength that you have. So for example, if you want to explain that you're good with like time management or you're good with a particular type of skill set, you may want to sign up to websites like Fiverr, Upwork, and provide a service. Let's say that copywriting is something that you are good at or something you're trying to get into. You can join flexible websites like that and, start doing it as a freelance gig. And when you have delivered like copywriting gigs to other clients that you're going to get, is something that you can also put in your CV that you've helped clients and companies. Bonus points if it's like a company, you can put it down on your CV and say, freelance gig for this company or contract work, however way you want to put it. The most important thing is to sell your market and sell it well. Step 5, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. This is an unpopular opinion that I have, but there's no need to put the open to work sign on your bio or on your profile picture. I know that a lot of people have different opinions for this, but personally, I don't need you to put the open to work. Personally, I think it just looks like you're less busy. It's not me. Like, don't judge me. I'm just saying what I think and what I find other people also think as well. There's been a debate on it on LinkedIn, but you guys just don't put that open to work. In the same vein, don't also put your graduation picture as your LinkedIn picture. I'm sorry, guys, don't do it. Don't do it, except if you're applying to graduate roles. There are very specific positions that I'll say, okay, except if you're applying to graduate roles, then that's fine. You can put your graduation picture because what it just screams is that this is a newbie. This person is fresh meat on the market. I'm going to underpay this person. Like, it's not always true, but most of the time, it's just good to avoid, underselling yourself before you go for an interview because they will always check out your LinkedIn, right? Optimize your LinkedIn, make sure it has keywords for the particular job that you're applying to. This is when you can now do like a generic, because you can't particularly tailor your LinkedIn to each specific job. It's going to be a lot of work and it's also not sustainable. So you can say, okay, generic, these are the skills that all these jobs have in common, and then you optimize your LinkedIn. Also connect with people on LinkedIn that already have your dream role or that are already in your dream companies. Connect with them, send connection requests. You never know, somebody might accept. There are recruiters on LinkedIn always looking for people to hire. Like, I know that everybody says the job market is bad, but I'm telling you now, people are getting employed by the day and they are being paid well. So just optimize your LinkedIn for the eyes of recruiters. If at all you're going to put open to work, you can do the private open to work where it is only recruiters, because nobody else needs to see your business. Really and truly, nobody else, just recruiters, because they are the people that are going to bring the job to you, and you're employed anyways. Or you put that you're in a volunteering position. You're basically just manifesting. Don't look like you're less busy, look like you're in demand, because there's just something about somebody that is in demand that other people want them. Not like, it's almost like if you have not yet been picked, then why should we pick you, versus you're already picked but you're looking for something better. Maybe we'll want you, or maybe like, you can bring something fresh to our company. It just depends, guys. This is not like bulletproof, but I'm just saying my opinion and what has worked for me and people that I know. This is something that you definitely want to do. In case you're looking for an example of a personalized message to send somebody on LinkedIn, here are some examples of ones that I have sent in the past when I was still job hunting. You can look at them here and you can create your own. A bonus tip is to just ask ChatGPT. Truly, use AI to your advantage. By following these steps, you're setting yourself up for success and you're guaranteed to get your dream role. Step 6. Utilize your circle. Leverage the network that you already have. Don't be quiet. If you're looking for a job in a particular market or in a particular niche, shout it from the rooftops. Tell everybody that is in your close circle of friends and even extended circle, to be honest, because they may just know someone that knows someone that is looking for somebody in that particular role. Or even if they don't, they will keep an eye out for you and find specific positions. Bonus points for you if they're also job hunting at the moment. If they see anything that looks like what you want to get into, they'll be sure to send it to you if there are truly people in your circle. A good tip here is to be specific. Don't just go, oh, I'm looking for a job that has, I don't know, project management. No, say I'm looking for a specific job that has project management but needs someone that is a scrum master because I am a scrum master or I have a certification in scrum, something like that. Be very specific. Don't just dilly dally. The more specific you are, the more likely, because most of the times people when you're telling somebody, oh, I'm looking for a job, you're very casual about it. You're like, oh yeah, I'm still searching for a job, I'm looking for any job in so and so. You need to niche down and make sure to like drum it in their ears. That way it's easier for them to remember and they're going to send things your way if they see anything or if they know anybody that can help. Again, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, these tips can still work for you. Even if you know two people, tell the two people that you know and watch it go far and wide. Step 7. Network, network, network. You need to start attending industry events. I know that you hate to see an industry event coming, but truly that's the only way that you're going to meet professionals that have been in that industry for a long time. I know it may be a bit overwhelming for you. And so I'll say if you cannot go physically or even if you don't have the resources to attend a networking event physically, I'll say something you can do is to attend webinars. Webinars are really good because you're just typing, you're literally behind a keyboard asking questions, and you're having industry experts answering your questions. A good way to find webinars in your niche or in the job that you're looking for is through LinkedIn. So if you guys want me to make an entire video about LinkedIn, because I genuinely feel that LinkedIn is a whole world of its own, and some of the good opportunities that I've personally gotten, I got through LinkedIn. So if you want me to make a video about LinkedIn, just tell me down below and I'm going to make a video about LinkedIn for you. But yeah, online webinars, like they're literally just Zoom meetings that you can stay anywhere and attend. And it can even help you reevaluate and see, is this really something I want to do? And it can also help you fine tune the things that you want to go into, depending on the information that you learn from these webinars. The final thing I want to say in this step is that you should follow up. So let's say you go to a webinar, you attend a networking event, or you attend a webinar and you click with somebody and you immediately connect with them on LinkedIn, because more times than not, this is what typically happens after a webinar. When people like get on through the chat rooms, you connect on LinkedIn. I'm saying this from experience as well. Follow up, make sure to follow up and be like, oh, I really liked your point about so and so during the webinar. Do you have any more tips on this? Or do you have, like, just ask questions, follow up. It doesn't have to be the same day. It can be like maybe 3 days later, just so that you're not spamming them. Or it can be the next week. Just be like, oh, hey, my name is this. I don't know if you remember me. We connected after this webinar. We connected after this event. I was wondering if you had any more tips about so and so. Don't be annoying. Please go straight to the point. Nobody is going to respond to you with just hi. It's LinkedIn. Time is money. It's not Instagram. Okay? The final tip that I have is that you need to be diligent in your role. If you already have a role that you're working in or a job that you are working in, whether you like it or not, whether you enjoy it or not, you must be diligent in that role. You must show up in time. Lateness is tardy, guys. Like, you must be diligent in the work that you have, because if you're not faithful in the small one that you have, you are not going to be faithful in the big one. And also because a lot of people are watching, your boss is watching, your colleagues are watching, you never know the connections that you will make there. I say this as somebody whose dream role, quote unquote, came from somebody at my previous office. So Just be diligent. You don't know the people that are watching. You don't know who can mention your name in rooms. If you're mismanaging a particular role that you have, if somebody finds an opportunity that they feel might be good for you, they may not be inclined to suggest you, mostly because you had not been faithful in the role that you had before. If you think about it, a lot of the points that I've given you here are not things that are out of the ordinary. I need you to remember that applying for jobs or looking for your ideal role or the perfect job for you is a marathon, not a sprint. And it is also a numbers game. You cannot do this 4 times and expect that, yes, after these 4 applications, definitely I'm going to get one of these 4 jobs. No, because a lot of things are really competitive now, you have to apply to a lot of jobs and you have to keep track of the jobs that you're applying to. I remember when I was applying to jobs, I had like a Notions template where I would write how many recruiters I have messaged today, which ones have responded to me, which ones have I reached out to via like calls, maybe the ones that gave me their numbers. Like I was keeping track of all the companies I was sending personalized CVs to. Bear in mind, because I say personalized CVs, it doesn't mean that every single day you're like doing it by yourself. You can just set out a block of time where you say, okay, I have these 5 job roles and I want to apply to them. And then you personalize your CV for all 5 of those jobs differently. And then you send it out. It is tedious work and it is hard work. But at the end of the day, it's going to pay off if you honestly follow the steps and, do everything how you should. Yeah. Now that you've gotten your dream role, congratulations, you're on cloud 9. But can we now talk about how to survive your first week in corporate? If you want all the tea on how to survive your first week in corporate without losing your head or without going crazy, then click on my next video, because in my next video, I go in depth on how to survive your first week and the strategic things you need to do in your first week to make sure that you're on game. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.